man, we were all right. I don't know how we're all going to be right on this one, but like the rapture is the real.
I know we'll never agree on that, so I'll move on.
But
to
the rapture is the best.
Question.
Like it's the best possible explanation for everything.
So that Victor can join the conversation. So, do you think like the prophecies in the book of Revelations can be applied to the current geopolitical events?
Ooh, Victor starts.
That's a great question.
That's good.
What I mentioned before about Israel becoming a nation again, that was prophesied in Revelation, but didn't say they'll become a nation. It said, I'll bring my people back together. I'll check my verses on that. But that one, that actually happened. And then the whole thing about, is it the 4 animals that came from the sea?
Yeah.
A lion with eagle wings, a bear with ribs in its mouth, and then a cheetah with 4 heads. A cheetah or a leopard, something like that. I feel like those animals in the Bible have a symbolic meaning when it's tied to nations. Just like in the book of Daniel, where he talked about how the king asked Daniel, in my dream, I saw a rock come from the sky, a tiny rock. It came, it crashed, and then it grew. And at the foundation, it was clay, iron, the different types of metals, and then how that was broken down into different nations. So, yeah, I think geopolitically, the Bible, Revelations, the things that it has predicted and the things that it's going to predict that will surprise us. Like, no one believed that Israel would become a nation after the Holocaust of World War II, literally.
All right. Bartu, Eric?
I think we're in what we call the dress rehearsal.
The dress rehearsal.
And then like we're preparing for the final events. We see all these things coming to be.
It's not final.
Like we're still we're gearing up to the, what is it called?
The final stages.
Yeah, what is it called? The peak? I don't know. Climax. Yes, the climax. We're gearing up to the climax of the entire event. So everything that we see now is definitely leading up to what we see in the book of Revelation. And even simple things like such as, what is it called? When Trump declared Jerusalem the capital city of Israel.
Yeah.
Like all of those things that we see happening within the world are definitely, like you see glimpses of them in Revelations. When you read Revelations, you can see, all right, I think this is what is happening. Sometimes I think we misinterpret it because people could argue like, famines have been there since whatever wars and rumors of wars. We've had this thing since the beginning of time. But I definitely see it happening as, I don't know. It's scary sometimes to think about too, because there's the realization that, dude, like it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. If we think it's bad now, with the finance bill in our country, it's gonna get a lot worse before we get to a place where we can actually, like, there's a glorious, which is why the rapture is such a good.
I don't think we are built for suffering. Nothing matters. We built for suffering.
To add on that, I don't think we're at the climax. And then I have a question about where you said that Trump declared that Jerusalem is the capital city. Is it because his name Trump, it's similar to trumpet? That's why everyone believes that.
A lot of Christians actually, a lot of Christians have made that argument, especially when he said he.
That's conspiracy.
No. Let him marinate.
A lot of Christians have made that claim too. Yeah. Like he's the instrument that the Lord uses to restore Israel.
To trump other people.
Don't.
The question is, there's a lot of. When Trump entered office, I was currently in the States for like 1 year. There was so much commotion about him. Like he's the prophet. He's gonna slay the dragon. Like this guy was the chosen one. That's how they made him sound like. He was in the States. That whole culture. I don't believe
the chosen. So
I don't believe in the chosen one.
What do you mean the chosen one?
Not chosen one. He's the one who the Bible
Jerusalem?
has been talking about. Like whatever he's gonna do, he's gonna fulfill. But I don't believe that. But I'm asking, do people believe that because his name
I've never had that.
I've never had. I'm having here with you, man.
I've had a lot of
Oh,
that.
you guys need to get out of that.
I don't know what site you're
Get
on.
out of
Get
the
off
dark
Reddit.
internet.
Get off
Read
Reddit.
Bible.
Get off Reddit.
Can I just read the verse that I wanted to read for you before you
All right,
because
as
you
you're
claimed that
thinking.
I was lying.
Yeah, you are lying, but
Yes,
So-
use the Bible.
I'll be
I
asking.
saw this is Revelations 19 verse 11.
Oh, you're using your phone,
Yes.
all right. You heathen.
Sorry.
I saw heaven standing open, and there before me was a white horse whose rider is called Faithful and True. With justice he judges and wages war. His eyes are like blazing fire, and on his head were many crowns. He has a name written on him that no one knows but himself. He is dressed in a white robe dipped in blood, and his name is the Word of God. The armies of heaven were following him, riding on white horses and dressed in fine linen, white and clean. Coming out of it, that's the place I was going to say, the host of heaven. When Jesus is coming back,
So you're saying we are the armies?
the saints of heaven are coming
No,
back.
no, it
with
says
him.
the armies.
Yes.
Are we the does the
Aren't we
Bible
the
call
armies?
us
We're supposed to be
armies?
fighting.
We're supposed
I
to
am a
fight.
soldier.
No. I can accept suffering, but no
soldier.
fighting.
We're already done with that.
Lord.
We're moving on. We're not even listening to that.
The geopolitical
You have to sing
statement.
that song. If I die, let me die. I'm like,
The one who's running from the rapture.
yourself.
You're running from the rapture, now you want to die.
you
Hey,
want to die single. Anyway.
No.
My next, okay, Eric has something for
The
us. My next question.
I feel. I think
My last question.
it all began when the standard of what's the Western civilization, which is the states currently, became an atheist state when they took themselves away from the church and all that. And I feel it put in motion some events that have led to some things that are referenced in the Revelations. When I heard that about the thing about Jerusalem and the general meeting of all relations in Jerusalem, that sent was like a
Alarm
warning,
bells.
alarm bells that went off. It was I'm sorry, it was creepy. Cause sometimes you read and there's prophecies, but when you see it,
But Kenya is also a secular state.
I know.
No,
And
Kenya is a Christian
No,
state.
Kenya is a secular state based on the constitution.
the Constitution says that we are a secular state.
Shall be burned with fire.
Hey, I am not Kenyan. I am a Christian.
I'm a Christian first.
I'm a Christian first.
See, taxes will say if you're Kenyan or not.
Americans are the only ones who are like die-hard patriots.
But basically, it's.
You guys are not patriots?
I'm not a
Of
patriot
my
of Kenya.
country.
Name it like. I'm not a patriot.
You see, he asked you of America
Of my
or
country.
of this country.
Name me not like. I'm not a patriot of Kenya. Name me not like. This is me wanting to work in the
I
foreign
die
affairs office.
for Kenyans. Would I die for Kenya? I don't know.
It depends. I don't like our government, but I like the community.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I die for the
This is
Kenyans.
last
not for
year.
Kenyans.
No, they'll increase the taxes. Don't shout.
Relax.
Edit
These
that
are
out.
these are the views of us, not the Mavuno Church, please. Hey, before we come for. But basically, the way the Russia's is always seen as the bear. I feel like that's something else that's really alarming. The Middle East trying to come into peace.
The dragon being China.
The dragon being China. The fall of South America. as it
Conspiracy
is.
territory right here.
No.
Because China mythology has to do
You
with
know
the
what,
dragon.
Like, you know what, guys? I feel like we are going way off.
I feel like he's
Let's
answering
go
the
geopolitical.
question. Yeah,
This is geopolitical.
China and Russia are like
This is so
big players in
This is
political.
geopolitical. You asked about how the geopolitical
Conspiracy
situation
rabbit hole.
of the globe.
Stop shouting into your mic. You're killing
How
me.
the geopolitical situation of the globe
Kill his eardrums.
are related to the relations and all that.
The pyramid in the US dollar.
I'm sorry.
It's not you. It's this guy who's screaming into his mic.
The pyramid in the US dollar. That's the Antichrist.
nah.
America is not mentioned in Revelation.